Without further ado, the co-host of Birds 365. And by the way, I have nominated him for a UN seat so that he could be a moderator when nations go at it with one another, because he's got to sit in between McMullen and myself. And by the way, he's throwing shots too. Nobody is safe with JAKIB now. You got Zander killing people too. The host and co-host of Birds 365, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What is up, great people of JAKIB Sports and Mr. Big Sills? What's going on, brother?
How you doing, dog? How you
I'm
feeling
doing
today?
great, man. I mean, how can I complain? Birds are 6-2, sitting pretty. I like that move the Commanders made today, man. That's a good move. That's a good player, man, Marcus Lattimore. I think he's only 28 years old.
Yep.
Probably a guy they'll have there for 3-4 years at least, and that's a good move. That could be their Darius Slay trade that we made a couple years back.
Absolutely.
You know, they needed a good cornerback over there. That Emmanuel Forbes guy wasn't quite cutting it. So, hey, maybe I'll eat my words a little bit on that. Maybe they'll prove that they are a real legitimate contender.
Are you suggesting they're not?
Well, no, I'm just suggesting that I said
quarterback has played good all through the first half of the season.
I said that I wasn't quite sold on them yet. That's what I said.
Okay.
I think adding a guy like Marshawn Lattimore shows you that that organization wants to go for it. They want to be a contender. They want to play with the best teams in the league. I think it's the right step. I thought it was a great move for them. I'm not going to lie to everybody. I thought that was a really good move by Washington. Shores up that defensive front or that defensive secondary. And, you know, they're in a good spot. I'm not going to lie. They're in a good spot. Now, they got to keep going, but I still like us to win the NFC East.
Do you think Howie makes a move by the top of the hour?
Well, we're going to be on here doing it. So I'm looking forward to if something comes down in the moment for us to kind of instantly react to it. But
even if they don't, we will react to the fact that they didn't make a move because it'll tell us what they think of their current
I don't
roster.
think they're making a move. That's my gut feeling.
Even with Puff and stuff being a complete disaster. By the way, they're lying about his injury. Because Vic said today,
I think Bryce Puff is too friendly of a nickname. I don't think he's even a Puff anymore. He's like a Bryce Stuff or Bryce.
I call him Casper the Ghost. Sometimes you see him,
good.
sometimes you don't.
There's nothing there. Puff would insinuate that there's something there.
It's like the Invisible Man.
Yeah, he's not Bryce Puff. There you go. That's where I saw that. Was flexing. He said Huff ain't puffing. I agree. He ain't puffing, man.
Stink puffs.
Yeah, that's good. Bryce. Yeah.
HR Puff.
We got to come up with something.
HR Puff and Huff.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to do my top 10 quarterbacks with you here in a minute too.
Hey, by the way, man, I thought you were really I really liked your midterm rankings. I thought you were really on with most of them. Honestly, I agreed with almost every one of them. And I thought, shout out to LJ. I thought LJ was actually really good, man. LJ had some really, I mean, he was fair. He had some really good ratings.
I don't believe that's him. There has to be. It has to be somebody
LJ's always been fair. He likes messing with you. That's why he's never gone anywhere, because I respect that he, you know, I understand what he's doing and he's backing his team and he's never taken it to a obnoxious level. And he's one of our valued viewers here on JAKIB. He's obnoxious, but that's what makes him a good troll.
Big C says that Lattimore's overrated, always hurt and unavailable. That's so nice.
There you go. Look, shut up, Zander.
All right, Zander.
PJ.
Let's go over it with you on how you see these midterm grades here. We're at the midway point of the season. By the way, I got asked a question about the coordinators, and we'll do the head coach too. We might as well. Give a midterm grade to Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio, I'm giving a B+. I'll give a B+ too. These are off the top of the head, by the way. I don't want to give him an A because you can't dismiss the slower, inconsistent start. But the last 4 weeks have been obviously really good. And we're up there, I think, top 5 in the league right now in defense overall. So, I mean, you could easily argue for that to be an A, but I'll give him a B+ there.
Who do you think has had a harder job this first half of the season, Kellen Moore or Vic?
Vic is trying to make chicken soup out of chicken shit a lot more than Kellen Moore has to. And I'm not saying that in a bad way on our defense, but it's very clear that the talent on our offensive side of the ball in Philly is, you know, I think any coordinator in the league would be happy to inherit that type of talent.
I think you're overestimating how hard it is to get everybody involved, though.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm assuming that both of them have a hard job, not including the talent. So I think that the talent that Kellen has makes his job easier than
See, I
Vic.
think Vic's had a tougher one too, and I agree with you because Vic didn't know what his talent was.
I
Kellen
mean,
knows what
nobody
these
knew.
guys. Kellen knows what these guys can do.
I mean, if
You
Vic
know
wasn't
who
here,
they
these
are.
guys might not even be playing this good for all we know. You
What'd you
know?
give Kellen?
Mm. I mean, I think we're top 10 or top 7 offense right now. I think you got to give him at least a B. I mean, you know, and it's tough to judge because, we've seen almost the tale of two tapes with this offense. And it's like, well, if I'm judging the last 4 games, I'm giving him an A. If I'm judging the whole season, and that's what you're doing here, it's midterm. You can't just throw out those first 4 games. So I'll give him a B plus too, because I think both of them have been B plus. And if you're asking me Nick Sirianni next, I'm going to go to in the C range. I mean, you're passing because you're 6-2, but it's like that saying they used to tell me in school because I was not a good student. C's get degrees, man. Just get a damn C. My dad used to say, just get a C.
No, I used to say, "Hey, if I'm on the podium, I'm good."
Yeah, well, I think you have to get on the podium to get a C to do that
ABC,
now.
dude, get me on the podium. I'm good.
Exactly. So if I get a C, I'm good. But that doesn't mean you're overachieving by any means, right? So I'm giving Nick a C.
I gave Vic a B, and I gave Kellen Moore a C plus, and I gave because he's 6-2. I have to give Sirianni a C. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think that's fair. That's where
it's just
I would
not.
give him a
I
C
mean,
plus.
C minus or D plus is
Why
just
a C plus for Kellen?
because I think it was 2 different tales of 2 different tapes, like you said.
So
I
you're
think it was 2
okay.
different teams. There were turnovers high in the first 4.
Yep, there
The
were.
the offense was completely different and stumbling because of injuries and continuity issues in the first 4. They were winning because of the roster, not really the scheme. And in the last 4, it's been a lot better, and it's been trending up. That's why I gave him a C plus. By the way, with trending up, and you could, if you wanted to go B minus with that with me, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling. I mean, I could even give him a little higher just because I feel as though the last 4 weeks our offense has really been dominant.
Recent bias is
You're
not
right. There
a
is some
problem.
but there is some of that going on for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're giving the trending up.
Yeah. I mean, right now, the Eagles are 6th in total offense and 3 in total defense. Now,
There's only got I think there's only
we
2
had this
teams.
dude on in the summer, right? And Aaron Schatz, his name was, or something. And he's the guy that created, DVOA, I
Mhm.
guess, which is an advanced analytic metric. And, people John put out a tweet that he got like 100,000 views on it of him putting those the rankings. And there's people in the chat like, that's not what they're ranked DVOA. And I'm like, how important is this DVOA that everybody is so high on, what the DVOA
There's so
analytics
many
are?
metrics now and analytics now that you can take anyone and make anything look awful and anyone make look good. So you've kind of have to run it through the strainer a little bit, Xander, to figure out what you think and what you're watching. How many times do you listen to national analysts talk about your football team, and sometimes you shake your head and you go like this, what the fuck is he talking about? He doesn't watch this team. I mean, those guys watch mostly from 35,000 feet, and they don't really know what they're looking at, and they don't know what's been trending over the last couple of weeks. So, I mean, I look at it that way.
So we had a dude on in the summer. I mentioned that, right? I mean,
Yep.
this is why I can't take him seriously. So the guy that created DVOA, Aaron Schatz, his name is, he predicted the Eagles before the year on Birds 365 based on his DVOA, and he's like, "Oh, my track record is great because I follow DVOA. I don't care about um, analytics or fandom or any of that stuff." He had the Eagles winning 8.5 games, and he had the Cowboys winning the NFC East. Well, okay, dude.
Yeah, well, and I told you the Cowboys, and I got the Eagles at 9 wins, and
Yeah,
I've
I
got
mean, go ahead and type it in on our YouTube channel if you guys want to go and watch the segment with the dude. Analytics guru Aaron Schatz has Eagles underachieving in 2024. It's a
and
40-minute video. It was a 40-minute interview with him.
I think the Cowboys are going to go on a 7-game losing streak. I mean, I think they're going to lose 7 games.
I don't see how they can win. I really don't.
No, I don't either. I mean,
Yeah.
I think Cooper Rush is solid, but I don't think that guy's going to win you any kind of games. By the way, he's 5-1 as a starter for the Cowboys. And Kellen was talking about him and coached him and said he's a smart guy. He knows what to do. Watch this. Let me tell you something, too. Think about this before we go on to these grades here. If you're the Dallas Cowboys, what if that guy beats – and I'm saying hypothetically here, and I don't believe – by the way, so I don't believe this will happen. Hypothetically, they beat the Cowboys beat the Eagles this weekend. This guy plays great. All of a sudden, he's 4-2 over the next 6. That comes off IR. Would you put him back in there, or would you keep – and by the way, a hamstring, you put a guy on the IR with a hamstring and you take your starting quarterback out for 4 weeks. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I think they shut down the season, the Cowboys. And I think that guy, again, I get a hamstring, but I think they shut this thing down. I'm not bringing him back after 4 weeks.
So you think there's some skullduggery going on in Dallas?
Yeah, I think they shut him down.
Interesting.
Dude, I don't believe. Oh,
Where's 304?
A.J. Brown had a hamstring injury, and he missed 3.5. Okay? He missed 2.5 weeks, I think it was.
You think Dallas is phoning in the season? Then they make a move today for a wide receiver?
Yeah, I do.
They traded today for a wide receiver.
I know they did. The kid from Carolina.
Yeah.
And?
Mingo, is his name Mingo?
So you make a trade for a guy now that you have a backup quarterback for a month minimum that's going to throw to him? I mean, how did that move even make sense?
Mingo
Cooper Rush is your quarterback the next month, and the Cowboys make a move for a wideout.
Yeah, really.
Instead of a D tackle to stop the run where you're getting murdered.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Jerry Jones is not. If
you're Micah Parsons, do you want to come back to this shit?
I think we should trade for Micah Parsons, maybe.
Fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that guy.
I knew you were I'm just messing. I don't think they would even consider doing that, but I do wonder about what Jerry's going to do with him. I mean, you think he's having buyer's remorse on Dak already?
I think he's got to look at it and go like this. I paid $36 million for a receiver. I paid $60 for a quarterback, and I've got 3 wins. I mean, who in the world pays that? Hey, one thing about the Eagles got a $200 million offense. They're 6-2. Hey, at least, Zander, you can always say this.
Minutes. We got 15 minutes. You think a trade's coming?
I think some sort of C+ deal's coming.
You do?
I don't think it's going to be an A+ move.
I mean,
I
there's somebody out there.
I think they need an edge rusher, though.
There's some people out there saying Eagles are active in calling right now.
Oh, I know they are. They were looking at that Zadarius Smith move.
Okay,
and
what held them back from making the move? Because they barely gave up anything to get that guy.
I think Vic.
Hold on to 6 rounds.
I think Vic's very happy with what he has.
I'm honestly, I tweeted out earlier today on my X account at Real Zander. For those who want to go and give me follow, I will follow everybody back. I tweeted out, I don't have an issue with them staying pat, honestly. If the right move is there, take it, but don't be desperate. You don't need to be desperate. I don't believe they need to be desperate.
No, they don't. Yeah. But I'll tell you what they do need. They need to make sure that if there's a position of issue, there's 2. Where are the positions right now that you need depth? I say tight end, and I say wide receiver.
Depth, definitely tight end. Because you just don't know with Dallas Goedert. I mean, and I said in the offseason I thought he was overrated. And, everybody got all upset with me. But the dude is just not out there enough. You just don't know what you're getting. So, tight end depth, definitely. What was the second one you said?
Wide receiver, and I'll throw edge. Tight end, wide receiver.
Okay. What do we need wide receiver depth for?
Because you need to have a viable piece out there, at least in case one of those guys goes down. You can't be out there. And AJ has shown you this year that he's been banged up all year. I mean,
when AJ Brown
he's missed more time this year than he has his entire time in Philadelphia.
So even when,
not an A+ move, dude.
Well, okay, that's fine. So when we had,
would you want Adam Thielen?
If we had a different type of quarterback that threw to those guys, that threw to his 3rd and 4th receiver, yes. I mean, remember, Sills, we traded the 3rd round pick for Jahan Dotson. We had a game already this year where neither Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown was on the field, you know how many yards Jahan Dotson had in that game?
I know. I
Look,
get
guess.
it.
Just guess.
35.
11.
Okay.
11 yards.
So you feel comfortable with the guys you have on the roster right now if Brown loses significant
I
time?
don't. But I'm accepting that it was a failed trade, and that was the
Okay.
move you needed
So
to make to
you're
address
not going
that.
to take another swing at it? You're just
Not
going
at
to
that
go,
position.
wow. So you're just going to go like this. Well, we're going to stay light at the wide receiver
You're going
position.
to hope for health. You
You're
messed
going to,
up.
that's not a
If
plan.
all right, you messed up on the trade though.
Well, I'm not going to make two mistakes. I'm going to go back in the room and get me a guy.
On in the same year?
Now, when do they get Britton Covey back?
I don't know. He went on IR early, so it might be soon. I don't know. I
Then
haven't heard much.
I might not make that because Covey's coming back.
Oh,
And
it's
Jalen likes him.
now Covey's a viable option.
I'm talking about a decent body. I'm not talking about the guys.
Yeah, my point
Johnny
is that
Wilson's not
I
going to
know
help.
what you're saying, and I'm not conceding that we don't have a decent body. I'm saying they needed to hit on Jahan Dotson
They
in that
didn't.
trade.
You have to move on from that the same way you have to move on
I
from
think they're going
Love.
to ride it out. They're not going to put more assets into that position. They're
I
just
didn't
not.
say a big third. I didn't say that. I'm talking about a mid-range deal where a 5 or 6 you can make them. Dude, Adam Thielen's not going to cost you a 3. He's going to
Well,
cost you about
if
a
they
6.
wanted to go that route, I would have talked to Joe Douglas for the guy they traded today for a late pick. Because you don't need a guy.
He traded for Baltimore. He traded Baltimore.
I don't know where he went. Mike Williams. He went, or was it Mike Williams? He went to
Mike Williams went to Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's where he went. Yep. That's the kind of guy I would have went for, because you can't, if you go for a younger guy that's on his rookie contract, there's a premium on that trade. And that's why we paid a third for Jahan Dotson. And you're seeing guys like,
I don't think you have anybody in that wide receiving room, and I don't think your wide receiving room is that good, except for the top 2 guys who are the best in the game.
You're certainly not wrong about
Okay,
that.
I think it goes like this. I think it goes A, then it goes down to C minus guys.
Yeah. So Josina Anderson just reported Eagles are standing pat as we approach the deadline.
Because you know why? They're not going to make a splash move. I thought either edge, depth at tight end. Because right now they've got to look at the war of attrition, because they're pretty happy with what they have right now. Because
Did you see the Steelers' second move today?
No.
Yeah, they made a second move. Who'd they get? They got the linebacker from. Let me find it for you. Oh man, Baltimore. Yeah, they got Tre'Davious White.
Yep. Added him now. Baltimore's taking swings right now.
Yeah, and so is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh traded for pass rusher Preston Smith. Yep. I'm surprised that the Packers moved off somebody, because I think they're a legitimate contender in the NFC, which is interesting to see.
Has to be a contract.
Yeah, exactly. So the Pittsburgh traded for him to bolster their defense. By the way, he gets added to a defensive line that features TJ Watt. I mean, we're playing the Steelers soon, by the way, everybody. So, and they're playing
that game got elevated with the Steelers with the player Russell Wilson too.
And also now they added Mike Williams and they added Preston Smith. I mean, they got, they're looking to make a move. They think they can capitalize right now on an AFC that's weakened in the last year.
Think about this. This is what their offense looks like as of today right now. Mike Williams, Pickens, Najee Smith, and Russell Wilson. Najee Harris and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
That's not awful.
No, that's not. And who's that tight end they have? Is it Freiermuth?
Yeah, he's pretty good too. Yep.
Yeah, he's solid too.
Yep, he's a solid guy. All right, let's do these midterm grades here.
All right,
then we'll do the top 10 quarterbacks.
Are we doing another top 10 QB list?
Yeah, we'll do a top 10 QB list.
I got to make mine, but I'll do that.
All right. I gave Cooper DeJean because he didn't play in the first 4 a lot. He's trending over the last 3.5. Really good. I gave him a C+.
I'm gonna go a little higher than that.
Even though he missed all them games?
Well, I'm going to base my decision solely on the play. I'm not going to give him an A or anything because of missing those games, but based on the play, he's been better than a C+.
Again, midterm grades is not the last 3 games. This is like what the guys have done for the half the season. You're segmenting it.
I know what
Wait a minute.
I
He's
know what a
fucking cherry
midterm grade is.
picking. He's fucking cherry picking.
I know
That's
what a
what he's
midterm
doing.
grade is.
All right. Okay. All right, Eagle Honk. What'd you say? What grade would you give him?
I give him a B.
That's not okay. A B. All right. Here we go. Here. This is a good. This will be another good one here. Darius Slay, I gave him a C+.
A C+. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's
No.
the worst grade I've ever heard.
Yeah. Okay.
Darius Slay hasn't played like a C+ player this year. I'm not even a Slay guy. You got to be honest.
I am honest. I think he's had a C+ season.
Oh,
Plus, he's been in and out of the lineup. He's been banged up all year. This guy wants to give him a fucking A, and this guy goes over and powders his nose half the game. Holy Maron to me. Oh, hey,
I don't have the stats right in front of me.
Eagle green shades are on here right now. First two guys. This guy's missed a ton of playing time in the first half of the season. Okay, what grade you give him?
What'd you give him?
A C+.
A C+?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not giving him an A or anything, but I don't want to give him a C+. That sounds too low to me.
Okay.
I mean, I equate C+ to, me on a good day back in school. And let me tell you, me on a good day was not quite good.
Dude,
So
I think a C+ for a guy that's been in and out of the lineup. I'm not saying he's had a bad season. I'm just saying availability plays a part of it too, dude. I mean, I think the guy, if the guy had played all the games, he's probably getting a B from me. But right now, he gets a C+. So what you doing?
All right, I'll give him like a B, B-.
B.
B-. B- is good.
Because you're an Eagle guy. Okay, B's all right. How about Reed? Free safety. I gave him a C.
I give CJ Gardner-Johnson a C. I'm not giving Reed a C. I'll give Reed a C+.
Okay.
He hasn't been great, but he has not been a liability. Actually, he's been better of the two
I
safeties.
think he's been a solid player back there. I think
All
he's
right,
been
so
really.
C just means solid for you.
Yeah, I think he's been really solid, man.
I think C for me is solid. B is adding on to the defense. A is
C sound like it's a shitty grade.
Well, I mean, I don't think C is.
I'll tell you what, C keeps you in the starting lineup.
C just means you're a guy. You're not a.
No, C means you're a starter. D+ means you're a guy.
Here, we're not grading anybody but the starters.
No, we're gonna have a couple more guys here. Gardner Johnson, I gave a D+ to. I think he sucked all year.
I'm fine with that. A critical grade of him. Yep, D+ is good. I'll give him. I'll side with you there.
I can't wait for this one. I gave Quinyon Mitchell a B- for the first 8 games of his career.
I like that. I was just gonna say B+.
Okay.
I like B+ for him. I think part of it is expectation. Always, I didn't expect him to be this good this quick. And
I expect him to be a B player back there at starting corner.
No, I know, but I'm saying that's part of my evaluation where I give him a B+, is that he's superseded what I expected of him, and he's been good by NFL standards as well. So I'm giving him a B+. Yeah.
By the way, if we're going by rookie standards, he gets an A+ from me.
Well, that's true. That's certainly true.
Okay. And by the way, if you go Cooper DeJean, he gets an A also if we're going by rookie standards. I'm going by NFL. You see, the one thing I do here, Junior, I'm grading these guys against the rest of the great players in the game.
Yeah, I am too.
Okay. If you're going rookie, those two guys are A's. There's no doubt about it. All right.
No doubt. I would agree with that for sure.
Josh Sweat, I gave a B+ to.
You like Josh Sweat.
I think his season has been great.
It has. I mean, he's quietly putting together a really nice season. Let me look what his stats are right now, just because I know he's doing. I mean, he's playing really, really pretty good football.
And as a matter of fact, don't you really think that he's actually picked it up? Like the last.
He's got 5 sacks. Yeah, he's having a good year. 7 assisted, 19 tackles. He's having a good year. I'll give him credit. He's having a good year, and he looks. What'd you give him, a B+?
I gave him a B+.
I'm going to side with you there. I'm not going to go A, but I'm going to stick with the B+ there.
Let me give you this right here with Josh Sweat. Like you said, he's got 5 sacks. Right now, Josh Sweat is trending to have 11 sacks on the season, and he's trending to have 50 tackles. 50 tackles, 11 sacks.
Yeah,
that guy is a Pro Bowler. He's a freaking Pro Bowler right now. I mean, you could make an argument, not all pro.
Oh, good. I'm glad we got somebody who's playing like a Pro Bowler because it sure is not Bryce Frankenstein.
Okay, speaking of him. Wait, no, we're not there yet. I get this. I think people gave me a ton of shit on this one. I gave Nolan Smith. I gave him a C. Is that too kind?
Nolan Smith?
Yeah.
I give him maybe a C+.
Okay, this is what he's trending on. To have 6.5 sacks, to have 45 tackles.
I don't even know if he's getting 6.5.
Right? No, they're just saying he's trending in this to get 6.5 sacks. So would you be happy with this in the first year of him starting if he had 45 tackles and 6.5 sacks? Would you be okay with that?
No, that's a rotational piece. That's what Nolan Smith should be getting as the third edge, not the guy he paid $17 million.
First year starting, you don't think that's a decent season to get?
Oh, for Nolan. I thought you were talking about Bryce Hall.
No, for Nolan.
Oh, for Nolan, that'd be great. That's why I put him above a C.
Yeah,
I put him at a C+.
Okay,
I think he's doing okay right now.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, also he's setting the edge. He's doing the other things better than I expected too.
Yeah.
He's not been bad in the run. And for an undersized edge like that, you'd expect him to be bad in the run.
He's quietly getting a little better.
You know what my favorite part about Nolan Smith is right now? I love that he never gives up on a play.
Yeah.
Like, there was that one tackle I always go back to. I forget which game it was, but he got 28 yards upfield and made the tackle after rushing the passer. I'm like, that's a guy that didn't give up on a play. Most linemen are jogging back to the play. He hustled back, made a good tackle. So I like that about him. He's a hustle guy. He's an effort guy, and I give him credit for that.
Keep an eye on what's going on. It's 4:01 Eastern right now. Just to see.
I'll check. I'll make sure.
Again, by the way, take a look at what's going on in the NFC East also.
Eagles just released Albert O, but doesn't look like any moves are coming. I mean, I see Albert O.
They still have until 30 minutes after because, sometimes you can submit them at 4 and they'll be released a little bit later on. I don't think there's going to be any moves either. But again, take a look at Detroit, San Francisco, Minnesota, Green Bay, and any of those teams, because those teams are the teams that you're going to have to try to fight. Dallas isn't selling anything, which is stupid. They're buying for Cooper Rush, which is, I don't get. He can't get any dumber. Let's get to Jalen Carter here.
Who are the top 3 teams in the NFC right now?
About 49. I got the 49ers getting McCaffrey back. I think they're going to be there. I think that Minnesota is going to be there. And I totally think Detroit is going to be there. I think those teams, Green Bay possibly, will be in there too. Remember, it's not about how the teams are playing over the last week or two. It's what do you think that roster is going to look like at the end when everybody gets back? I think the Rams could be formidable.
So Lions make a move today.
What?
Lions make a move today, and Washington makes a move.
Darius Smith and Washington is clearly going to be a player too. So if I had
what do you think of Eagles standing pat the trade deadline?
I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, that's kind of.
I don't have a problem with them not making a move. I think they're very comfortable. I think Vic Fangio had a lot to do with that, and I think Kellen Moore had a lot to do with that. And by the way, think about this. They've got to be looking at their injured players thinking that it's almost like signing someone. When you get Mulata back, you've created depth with Fred Johnson. You know what I said about Mekhi Becton? Think about what Mekhi Becton and Tyler Steen, and then you got Trevor Keegan behind you. When Mekhi Becton, who played really well this past weekend against the Jags, if that guy goes out there and starts hijacking Howie Roseman for wanting to get more money, dude, Fred has been really good for a guy who has stepped in and not played significant amount of playing time. And then you've got Tyler Steen, who stepped in, didn't give up a sack in the previous game and has played well. And you got Trevor Keegan, who I think is going to be a ball player who could be a starter in many places. And then if you keep Becton, dude, I've never seen an offensive line and an offensive line coach have more options. I've never seen anything. I tell you what, it is totally an O-line factory. The Eagles are an O-line factory.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man, how good their offense is.
It's unprecedented.
It is.
Zander, that is the richest position in all of football. Why? Because there's 5 of them.
They're the MVP of the team. Let's be real.
I mean, insane.
I mean, I know it's Saquon Barkley, but really it's the offensive line. Have you seen the stat on, last year Saquon's average yards before he was touched was like 2.1, and that's what it was every year of his career. And that's basically what the average is in the NFL almost. And since he's been here, it's like 4.9 yards until he gets touched.
Do you understand how fucking insane that is? That
It's
you're
unreal.
You're 5 yards into the line of scrimmage before you have contact.
That's
If
unreal.
he falls forward, he has 8.
He is really good at falling forward.
Oh yeah, he's really great at not again, that's a little Emmitt Smith in him too. You don't see a lot of minus plays out of him. Okay. By the way, if Henry wasn't having the year he's having, dude, I don't know what in the world people were thinking drafting that guy in the second round. Derrick Henry's he's got 1050. He's leading the NFL in rushing again at 30.
Do you think he'll be a Hall of Famer?
I do. Guess what he's doing right now? He's got the Triple Crown. He's averaging 6'3" a carry. Zander, listen to this. In today's passing game, Derrick Henry's averaging 6'3" a carry. He's got 188 carries, which leads the league. He's got 1052, which leads the league in rushing. And he's got 11 touchdowns, which leads the league in rushing TDs. And he's starting.
It's unbelievable. One more trade came in, by the way. It was not the Eagles. It was another NFC foe. And it was the 49ers. They traded with the Texans for backup defensive tackle Khalil Davis. So looks like some depth for them for their defensive line.
Depth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jalen Carter, midterm grade. I gave him a B+.
Ooh, higher than I thought from you. Because I was going to give him a B+, but I was teetering between a B and a B+. Why'd you go B+? Because I thought you were going to dock him for some of the inconsistencies.
Only one game where I thought he had to stretch a shitty ball from the Atlanta to New Orleans. Then he picked it up in New Orleans. I thought he had and the Buck game, I was a little bit down on him over. But overall, 8. I heard a statistic this past weekend that I fell in love with him. There were 62 snaps that they had defensively. He missed 2 snaps.
Yeah, right.
He played a lot. 60 of the 62 snaps on Sunday for a 320-pound defensive tackle. You got my attention.
That's right. I like that. All right, I'll go B+. I mean, I was leaning B+, but I thought you were giving him a B.
He's learning how to play pro ball. And by the way, let me see where he is right now on what he's doing. I know people thought that this kid was going to be a 10-sack guy, but at the end of the day, remember, 10 sacks, that's insanity for a defensive interior tackle.
That's kind of a guy I don't worry too much about stats. Right. I'm more focused on impact of the game there.
Okay, so he's floating around 7 sacks this year and 45 tackles. Hey, dude, if you give me 45 tackles interior and 7.5 or 7 sacks from a defensive tackle, and you're taking the majority of the double teams, he's going to the Pro Bowl. That's a Pro Bowl guy. Dude, 10 sacks that's an extra level kind of player.
Yeah.
That when you're there at 10.
I think he could be there. I mean, maybe not this year, but I think on several years of his career, he'll have that because I think he's that good. But he's going to get the Aaron Donald treatment eventually. I'm
going to tell you, he's having a Fletcher Cox year.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, I ain't complaining about that. That's for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
Dude, obviously, I'm not down on him. I gave Jordan Davis a D+.
I thought that was fair. I can't give him a C.
Can I tell you why I didn't give him a C? It's the amount of reps. Get this, and when they say this, like John does, well, that's just not his job description. Well, the 13th pick in the draft is not just a 2-down player.
It's a wasted pick. If you picked him,
it's that high. That high.
That high. It's the 13th overall pick is a very significant draft pick. I mean, even the difference between a 13th pick and like a 22nd pick on the draft ranking calculator, whatever you want to do, is huge, massive. So you pick him 13 overall. He's clearly not that type of guy. I mean, 13th overall, you're looking for a player like Jalen Carter, a guy that's going to impact your game in a big way. And if not, it's essentially a bust, and that's what he is. I mean, he's not that guy. That's for damn sure.
How'd you like to beat Dallas and have to do this with Mozzie Smith, who gets an F for a second year in a row? You talk about a wasted pick. How about Milton Williams? I gave him a C+.
I'm gonna give him a B. A B. I think he's been pretty good. I almost wondered if the Eagles were going to try and get him signed, because he's in a contract year too, and I think he's been pretty good. He creates a lot of pressure. He gets through, and he takes advantage of when they double up Carter or Davis. He beats his man in one-on-one a lot, and he does a good job at that. So I'm going to give him a B. I think he's exceeded expectations as a rotational DT.
I gave Nakobe Dean a C.
Okay, walk me through that, because I have him a little higher than that.
Well, I think he still struggles in space. I think he's getting better as a tackler. He's improved a lot. And you got to remember where he came from. I didn't think anything of him whatsoever. And I think right now, his first half, I've been really impressed with him. And by the way, for the record, I'm saying that in the next couple of weeks, that guy could elevate even higher with me. That he's gone from, see, in my eyes, Zander, from a D player to a C plus type player who's on pace to have 128 tackles. I mean, that's,
I'm giving him a B. I like B for him.
Kaiser White had 117 tackles his last year here, playing the same position. What did you think of Kaiser White?
B.
Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of what he's doing. He's doing Kaiser
I'm giving him
White.
a B. I feel good about Nakobe Dean. I approach games now where I don't feel like Nakobe Dean is a massive liability.
Yeah, he's not.
No, I feel pretty good actually about Nakobe Dean. I'm going to give him a B. And for everybody asking, the trade deadline is officially over, Rashad. Eagles did not make a move. One more move came down at the deadline. It was the 49ers. The only move the Eagles made was they released tight end Alberto. So I guess literally right at 401. So they might have been trying to trade him, and then it didn't work out.
Yep, absolutely.
So nothing for the Birds. We all we got. We all we need. What's that saying?
No, it's all us right now here.
Yeah.
How about this? I gave Zach Bond an A.
I'm giving him an A+. He's been 2 straight weeks now. He's been the top-rated linebacker in the entire NFL. 2 straight weeks. He's so far, and like LJ said it perfectly. Considering when we signed Zach Bond, he was one of the signings that like happens, and social media goes like, "Oh, look, we added somebody."
Yeah.
It wasn't like, "Oh, breaking news, we signed Zach Bond." It was like, "Oh, okay, looks like Eagles got a practice squad guy." That's basically how it felt when we signed him. I remember because we cover everything obviously on the YouTube channel, and looking at what he's been now. I mean, our linebacking core has been top 10 in the NFL because of Zach Bond.
He's on pace for 170 tackles,
insane,
4.5 sacks, 111 solo tackles. Dude, you could make the argument that he could be one of the conversations for one of the All-Pro spots, not just a Pro Bowl spot.
I agree. Right? If he keeps it up, now look, you got to do it against good teams and stuff like that. But he's been really impressive.
But I want to tell you something. I learned something from Vic Fangio today about evaluating players. Vic said something exceptionally smart, and I didn't realize it until he said it. He went like this. He goes, "How I look at linebackers is this: if you're not good on special teams, the chances of you being a really good position player at the position of linebacker is minimal. Most of the great linebacker guys who came into a football team and turned out to be really good linebackers turned out to be the fact that they started on special teams. Sam Mills, some of the younger players that he's had, they dropped Roquan Smith in Chicago when he was up there in special teams, and then obviously he translated into going into being a starter. He goes, but if you're not a very good player, and he goes, that's what I look at on film. He goes, do you know when you see a guy? He goes, well, I look at a lot of special teams linebackers that are out there in the league. And what I do is I look at it and I go to Howie and I go, see this guy here? This guy's got potential on being a potential linebacker that could be somebody that you might want to take a look at and being a special teams guy. I thought that was some insight that I had not heard That's how he evaluates, because that's his forte, dude. He's not a DB coach. He's not a D-line coach. His forte is linebackers.
Yeah, it's actually really good insight. I mean, it clearly shows you that if you're good at special teams, those kind of characteristics lead you to be a good linebacker. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, you got to get guys in open space. It's a high speed environment. Being good at special teams in a way is an art. It's not easy to do. It's not for every player. So I kind of love that.
It's
I
high
love
speed.
that draw.
It's high speed tackling.
Yeah, high speed tackling for sure. So the game might almost feel slow to you.
And open field tack. Hey, that's a great comment by you. You're right, because you know why? The game is, dude, you got a 50-yard head start going down the field, and you got to make high volume open field tackles like that. That's pretty insane. And what are you looking at? Do you think there's more trades?
I don't know. Big Marsh says Eagles released the tight end. Yeah, they released Albert O. Trade move coming. He says Big Marsh. Deadline's gone, so they didn't make a trade. What I mean, you think a signing is coming? I don't.
No way. Now, could they have put a trade in? And the trading deadline, just because the trading deadline's over, some of this stuff has to go to league office, but I doubt it, or it had been announced, because you know what agents like to do?
I mean, Ian Rappaport, who literally is the mouthpiece for the NFL, he works for the NFL. I mean, he's really good at what he does. I'm not taking anything away from him, but he would have it, and he tweeted out, if I haven't heard it yet, it's not happening.
Right, and I agree with him.
There's nothing left. I don't think they're making any sort of move.
Absolutely here. Okay. I guarantee you they tried to trade.
I was thinking of doing this tonight on the channel, an election stream, but I didn't want to create a Thunderdome in the chat where people be bashing heads with pitchforks and hand grenades and all sorts of bullshit. So I was going to do it.
I'm looking to enjoy my night tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I knew you weren't going to do it. I mean.
Oh, what do you mean you knew I wasn't? You think this guy gave me shit for complaining about going 15 over in the post game?
I mean, he did. You guys heard him. I need a beer. I'm like, dude, we're having great content after a big win. Sit down and shut up.
Okay, hey, this guy sounds like the Sixers trying to muzzle.
By the way, that was our most viewed segment of the week.
What's that?
Very much. That was our most viewed segment of the week. Thank you very much.
I needed a Corona. All right, let's go.
You started crying about it like a little girl.
Let's go over to the offense. Midterm grades.
Jalen Hurts, A+. No,
I'm not going there yet. Right tackle, Lane Johnson. I gave him an A.
Yeah, definitely an A. I would maybe argue A+. I think he's the catalyst of the entire offense.
Right guard, Becton and Steen. I gave him a C+.
Becton and Steen, C+. Yeah, C+.
I gave Cam Jurgens.
You watch Mekhi Becton in the running game. That dude moves bodies.
I know.
That dude is he is a freight train.
Hey.
Look at Elizabeth telling me, we're here for sports, not politics. All right, everybody.
Believe me, trust me.
You know what? I'll do what I want with this platform.
Hey, Elizabeth, really?
I said earlier, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and not be afraid to talk about something because people are going to cry about it. If I want to talk, I'm going to talk.
Hey, don't make my life more miserable.
You can't silence Big Z.
Hey, please don't make my life more miserable. Thank you. Right. Hey, Cam Jurgens, I gave him a B.
He's taking a lot of penalties, but I like B. B's good. I'm good with the big
rushing.
Well, he's filling big shoes, man. He's filling big shoes.
Zander, you're second in rushing.
I know. That's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible. No, I'm comfortable. I like a B. I like a B for Jurgens.
How about this though? Do you think that he is one of the issues on why the tush push isn't working?
I mean, anytime you lose Jason Kelce, it's got to be partly a factor, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not to say it hasn't worked. I mean, they've been successful with it. It does look like it's not quite as good, though, right? I mean, even in the eye test, when they get it, you're like, ooh,
when you got Sirianni throwing flare passes, because the thing got stuffed twice.
I went down that route again, by the way, on Birds 365. Not everybody was happy with me, but I needed to talk to John a little bit more about it. We again,
John ain't budging off that thing.
We again vehemently disagreed. He actually threw out at me, "Don't be a Sileo." That's exactly what.
No, John. Oh my God!
He said, "Don't go down the Sileo route." I said, "What the
Don't be a
fuck do you mean?"
Sileo. Oh
Oh my
my God, that's fabulous! I love that. Way to go!
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Pretty funny.
It is. Landon Dickerson. I gave him a B
I'm going B plus. I don't think he's been. I mean, why B?
because I think he's been really great this year.
So why not higher?
I tell you, because you passing grades out like,
Dude, they're the sixth ranked offense in the league.
I think he's done a great. Oh, because I didn't give an A, because no, I gave him a B. I think he's
that's
had
not
a
what I'm.
really good year this year.
So is
I
only the
did.
number one offense in the league can get an A? Is that if that's your grading scale? I'm
No,
actually asking. I
no,
think
I
that's
think
fine.
I've seen him get beat a couple times, and I've seen the quarterback get hit, and I've seen him give up some sacks.
I haven't seen him get beat.
Quarterback got hit 3 times in sacks this past game.
Okay, you putting that on Landon?
No, one of them was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, has he given up a sack this year?
Couples, yeah.
Polska said, "Are we going to give gold stars as well?"
Seriously, man, this guy wants to give out like participation medals too. Also, I see.
Yo, rock steady. Thanks, dude. He says he loves the pre and post game show. That's great, man. Love it. Thanks, brother.
Only when I have to fucking filibuster to get my takes in because John's
oh my God, you hear this guy crying, everybody?
His mouth won't stop, and everybody's.
You guys see what I have to deal with? Not only do I have to deal with his takes on the Eagles,
John's right and everyone's wrong. So if shit,
he's got a filibuster.
You've been now. You've been you have been now McMullenized.
No, I haven't. Believe me, me and McMullen are on opposite ends. Look, even Michael J. He said it. Zander and J-Mac need couples therapy. Yeah, we have not seen eye to eye in about 2 weeks. Not at all. Maybe even longer. Maybe like 3 weeks now in Birds 365, where Johnny Mac and I are like oil and water when it comes to agreeing on topics.
That traditionally makes a good show.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, you don't want to get into a piss match all the time, but I do try and create conversation with them. But I just don't understand. Like, apparently now it doesn't matter at all if you want to make it a 3-possession game with a point after. That shouldn't even be thought about in the conversation or in the decision.
Hey, I can't read and I'm not good at math, but even I know 3 possession.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, what am I hearing?
It's
one of those. What's the word for that? Gaslighting, right? Where they make you sound like you're insane, and you're just like, what?
Just got to remember, everyone's right. I mean, John's right and everyone's wrong. So here we go.
That's what makes John good. Just like you come here and you tell people passionately your takes, John thinks you're an absolute idiot if you're not in agreement with him. And look, that creates
this close to having him get up like.
I know. And you laid off, man. You laid off.
Well, because
I texted you after. I said,
because I'm a professional. That's what I do. I'm a pro here. That's what we do here. I keep my head, only when I have to fucking filibuster to get my shit taken.
Wait, what did I text you after the show? I texted you something.
You did. You know what he texted me? Why'd you apologize? I'll tell you why I apologize.
You backed down.
Not back. I didn't take one takedown, but what I didn't want to do was I took some low blows and some low shots. When I said I called him an idiot,
you went super low. I think I mean, look, John does give off whether I love John, so don't get me wrong. I actually think that the way John does content,
I didn't want him to leave either.
It's an art form, though. I mean, like you always say, never, right? John's never is his commitment to his take and it being so right. So I don't have an issue with it, but he does give off an arrogant sense that
holier than thou is what I call it.
I think he would maybe even admit that if you got him in the right moment.
He'd have to be drunk to admit that.
He probably would. But hey, I love Johnny Mac, man.
Yeah. Hey, what's his name? Dirty Air. If I text your mom, she must be smoking. All right, here we go.
Somebody asked me this morning what it's like texting you, and I'm like, he's not very good at texting
or posting tweets.
No, he's not very good on the digital front. You think he would learn? 4.5 years he's done a show now online.
Lost 6 jobs doing it, so you think I'd learn, but I don't.
I know.
Hey, here's one of my favorites. Why? It's all you'll see sometimes when I put a stupid tweet up. Zander, there'll be 4 a.m. for me. Zander will go like this.
I haven't done that in a while.
You haven't, because you know why? He's now getting a taste of it on being What most of the time he was on this end of it. Now he's on this end of the mic, and now he knows how hard it is to try to get shit going. So now, guess what he's doing? He's now in the Big Sills world.
Well, we're also in a little bit of a different realm right now, as a whole, as a company, which I think is a good thing because it's really, I mean, the people. This is why I love the people, and the people. I think they realize this, but I don't know if they know how important they really are because
they are.
They have totally returned power in a way to the people where we don't have as many external sponsors and, the Eagles in our ear about everything and all this, big media stuff that happens right now where, the people really have made JAKIB become almost self-sustaining, and it's been very powerful.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
You hear that, what he's saying here? By the way, all super chats, I promise, will be read at the end. Please hit the like button. But here, just how I started the program out today, I talked to people around the Marcus Hayes story, and Marcus Hayes is now not being allowed to go on any shows because we asked him to come on our show, and he's not allowed to because the Inquirer doesn't want him. Okay, we got to read that one down there, bro.
I think EVP is another. I think.
Oh, no, wait, what is that? Yeah, I think that's – hey, get this. Wait a minute. I want to finish this here. And so the Sixers have gone around telling media outlets like WIP and 97.5, they've gone around telling them not to cover the Marcus Hayes incident with Joel Embiid attacking him in the locker. And that is a fact in a true statement. And so can you imagine that they go around? So if the Sixers do it, the Eagles do it. What's happened in Philadelphia sports, there's very few people that do their job anymore the right way. And this is why Angelo said that guys like me and him are a dying breed because we speak our mind. And to me, that's a massive story. You've got a cover-up going on in Philadelphia for a guy, no matter what the article is. And for the record, I'm not defending the article. I'm defending the action by I'm going after Joel Embiid's reaction. Dude, so what? You make
ridiculous. His reaction is ridiculous.
You make $55 million. What do you care what a guy writes about you for you to sit there and smack him around in a locker room and then have the Sixers to turn around and tell the people that were in the room not to report on it? Who the hell do you think you are? I would have took the biggest shit on them. And you know what I would have been? I would have been fired the next day because you know why? The Sixers would have called my bosses. My bosses would have took a knee like they always had in the past. Zander, I'm going to tell you something. The only reason, and one of the major reasons, is that I love you and your dad. But the one thing is, you're not taking knees. I can't tell you how many companies have taken knees and then lied about something that wasn't true at all on how I got fired. It was because I wasn't fired over that monkey comment. I was fired because the Bucks called them and told them either he goes or we go. That was a fact.
We don't take knees at JAKIB, brother. We stand behind.
Fired for that because I get this. They put a press release out. Hey, Dan's sorry about the words he used. We're sorry. The next day, the Bucks called and said that's not good enough.
I remember. I remember how it unfolded. I mean, but
hey, I've got all the press releases.
Listen, fuck them. We all we need, Big Sills. Let's go.
Here we go.
To the moon, baby. That's the goal.
Fred Johnson, I gave him a C.
All right, I'm fine with that. Good guy's giving up a lot of pressures. I mean, the guy is
look who he's taking over for.
The guy is a pressure machine.
Dude. Look who he's taking over for. Hey, by the way, so hey, look at this. He's taking on Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's taking on Brian Burns. I mean, dude, he's taking the premier guys on every weekend.
All right, I'll give you that. I'm good with this. What'd you say, C?
Yeah.
I like it. Not a negative, but not a value add, I guess.
I gave Goddard and Cal Katerra's combo. Gave him a C+.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, Goddard had that one sick game. I think he had like 170 yards.
New Orleans.
Is that the game?
New Orleans or Atlanta?
AJ was out the game that he did that. It might have been New Orleans.
Yeah,
I think it was New Orleans. I know it wasn't Tampa Bay.
No.
No, it wasn't that game. So, yeah, New Orleans sounds right.
Here we get to the meat guys. Hit the like button, guys.
Yeah, you saved all these guys for last.
Here the meat guys. Devontae Smith, I gave him a B+.
Wow, pretty high.
Dude, come on. What more do you want from him?
I mean, let me pull it up so I know I know where we are. I mean, the eye test would tell me I think he's been a little bit under that. But
Really?
I mean, we're not what are we not 8 games through?
8 games through.
He's got 473. He's got 4 touchdowns. He got 35 receptions. I mean, he's on pace for 70 to 75 receptions and
1,000 yards.
And just 1,000. I mean, right around the 1,000-yard mark. I mean,
he's going to have a better year than AJ.
Well, AJ's missed a lot of games. Smitty missed what?
Sorry.
1? No, that's in the
evaluation.
Yes,
absolutely.
For sure. Devontae only missed 1 game. I think B+ is generous. I'm going to give him a B.
One of my great prognostication, Big Sill's bold prediction was that Devontae Smith would have a better year than AJ.
Yes, it was.
Okay? That was another one. How you doing?
He'll be lucky to do that because Jalen loves AJ.
I know. Don't worry. They'll go back to being predictable.
I mean, they're right on. They're close with the stats right now.
Yeah, they're right on predictability. AJ Brown. I gave that dude a B.
I was waiting for it. That's why I gave Smitty a B+ because he wanted to give him a higher grade than.
No,
see, I'm helping our listeners.
I don't give him an A.
I'm helping our listeners learn.
No, wait. The only reason I don't give him an A is because the amount of time he's missed, or I'd give him an A.
No, I'm saying you gave Devontae a better grade than AJ.
I think he's been more available.
But I know, but it feeds into what the Big Sills beast is all about, and I'm alerting the people to the way that Big Sills operates.
See, he's not. He's
Devontae Smith hasn't been a B+ this year.
AJ Brown.
I think you believe that.
This guy's played in how many games?
I'm giving AJ a C+. B. I'll give him a B.
He's on pace. Get this, folks. He's on pace for 50 catches, 940 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And you want me to say that he's outplayed in the first half of the season, Devontae Smith? He hasn't.
I'm giving him a B. AJ a B.
Look at this guy, man. Woof. Are you a generous soul? Okay. Saquon Barkley.
I gave him the same grade as you.
No, I didn't. I gave him a B.
I just said a B.
All right, go ahead.
What are you, deaf over there?
Saquon Barkley.
A+. No, not an A+. An A.
Miss sack. Not getting the first down.
Twice, 2 times there. Drop pass cost you the game. A.
Strong A.
Strong A, but you can't. I mean, hey man, you don't get 100 on the test. You don't get an A+. That's how it goes in life. So, A. I think A is perfect for Saquon.
And by the way, I feel I want to give him an A+, but I can't. That's how great he's played.
I agree with that for sure. I mean, you heard me. I said A+ right away, and then I realized, hey, can't give him an A+.
All right, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
All right, here we go.
Wishbone Hurts. What you got there, kid?
All right.
8 games. Midseason grade for Wishbone Hurts.
Holy shit, YB.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is either. Can somebody convert these
money?
Huh?
I think it's Egyptian money.
Is that what that is? Is that what EGP is?
So.
Egyptian
I think
pound?
So.
Egyptian pound? Is that what it is?
Could be.
Might be Egyptian pound.
Yeah.
Somebody convert that for me, will you? Hurts. Jalen Hurts. I'm gonna go. I think I'm leaning B+, but part of me wants to push to an A because we are.
Oh my God, an A. What do you got? Give me it to me.
Well, can I give you my reasoning?
Yeah, please.
He's got almost a 70% completion percentage, which is really high for him. He's got 1,774 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, the 4 picks, and a 102 rating, which is much higher than his his career average. And then you add in the rushing stats, which I don't even have up right now. He has, let me pull them up. I'll pull up the rushing stats too. He has 8 touchdowns rushing as well. So he's got 18 total touchdowns to 7 total turnovers. I mean, he's looking at over 2,000 yards of total offense right now.
Oh, God.
And a 70% completion percentage. I think I got to go A for Jalen.
Oh, my God almighty. He's going.
And he's 6-2.
He's
And one of the games he lost, he was missing AJ Devontae and Lane.
Okay. So you think that performance right now in the first 8 games, let me show you guys the difference between the first 8 games, what an A effort is versus a B effort, because I gave him a B. An A effort is 4,494, 40 touchdown passes, 68% completion percentage, and a 120 quarterback rating. That's for Lamar Jackson, who's on pace.
4,000 yards.
He's on pace for $4,000.
He's on. Here goes Sileo with the on pace. The guy that tells you need to prove it to him
Okay,
is
well,
now
right
giving
now,
you projections based on the next 9
okay,
games.
well, let's do it right now. He's got 1,593 in passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 pick, 111 quarterback rating, and he's at 66%. Wait a minute. Excuse me. He is at 68% completion percentage. And this guy's a runner. That's an A, my friend. Not this bullshit. It's a B. It's a beat. I mean, here. Let's go here and take a look at old Wishbone.
Wait. You're talking too much. All right. Listen to me here.
I'm talking.
Because you're telling me every day, and I believe rightfully so, that the Philadelphia Eagles need to use Jalen and what he's good at, and that's dual threat.
And
now
that's
you're going to cherry pick some passing stats.
Now I'm comparing him to a dual threat A guy.
Okay, so what's the total yard comparison?
Okay. Jalen Hurts is on pace for 3,770 passing yards compared to 4,450. Jalen Hurts is on pace for 21 passing touchdowns, and Lamar's on pace for 39 passing touchdowns. And he's a tick above in completion percentage, and they're going to be around the same number when it comes to rushing. One guy's going to throw for 4,500 yards and put one of the most iconic years together, and the other guy's on pace to be, well, a guy. 3,700 passing yards is not elite. So I compared him to the elite guy in the game, which is Lamar. That's A effort, my friend.
Well, that's A+ effort from Lamar.
Okay, that might be so, man.
Those Lamar stats I will give. All right, I'm not gonna beg off my Jalen take, but those Lamar stats. Holy, is he gonna get another MVP?
Yeah,
he's got 20 touchdowns to 2 picks right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And 2379 in the air.
Yeah.
Now he's got an extra game.
He does, dude. He's stupid good, though, right now. I mean, he's going to have over 5,000 total yards. I mean,
Lamar. All right, Lamar. Dude. If Lamar's the A+, and Josh Allen is the A.
Yeah.
I think
I gave Jalen a strong B. By the way, last 3 weeks, you could give him the A. But for the first half of the season, I got to give him a B, man. I mean, you got to just look at it.
You got to factor this in. Sam is not wrong. Lamar Jackson's throwing to fucking
nobody.
Penny Flowers or whatever the hell his name is.
Zay Flowers. Right. He ain't throwing to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Okay. Now he knows that guy behind him.
Shit, Chad. Am I going under an A? Am I going under an A? Is it a B+?
You'll be okay with that.
Lamar's 5-3, Jalen's 6-2. Now I know we're not grading the team, but Lamar's lost some shoddy games.
That Cleveland game was stupid.
They should not be 5-3, dude.
Should they have got crushed by the Bucks? The Eagles? Not beat crushed.
Lamar's had 2 games this year with a perfect passer rating. 2 of the last 3 games.
Dude, he's playing better than any time in his career. Any time in his career. By the way, could you make the argument He's the best player in football right now.
I think definitely.
Best player in
I think
football.
definitely.
I mean, dude, his fucking numbers. I've never seen a quarterback like this before. I mean,
Dude, 68.2% completions, 2379 in the air, 20 touchdowns to 2 picks, and a 120 rating
yeah,
in what, 9 games?
yeah. And look at look, he's on pace. What he's on pace for? He's on pace for
Look at
30.
Mac. He's pissed I chirped Zay Flowers.
Hey,
Hey, Mac. Hey, Mac. I know
hey,
you're smart, Mac. You might like Zay Flowers. That man is no AJ Brown.
no, he's not. And
Okay.
by the way, what makes it even more insane? Holy shit, Zander. So right now, also, he has 84 carries for 505, and he's averaging 56 yards. He's going to get 4,500. Wait, get this. He's going to have 4,500 passing yards this year, 39 touchdowns in the air, and he's going to have 1,000 yards rushing.
Look at this. Embiid suspended 3 games. Q's normally pretty on the ball, so I think that's a pretty soft punishment.
I do too. I think they want this to go away. Hey, man.
You can officially put me in the certified list of Joel Embiid haters. I am a Joel Embiid hater.
Folks, I sent an email to
I saw that. I saw you
Adam
posted
Silver,
that up.
and I said, what are you planning on doing?
Dang, look at the new members today, man. YB becomes a member. YB, thanks, man. You got to follow up, YB, with your currency.
I just had Mike McCollum send me an email going like this. It was a press release, and I didn't ask for the press release, and the NBA sent it to me that Joel Embiid's been suspended 3 games.
Yeah.
So I last night I went like this. What do you plan on doing about this, Adam? I guarantee you the NBA Players Association, they fight this too. Hey, and by the way, how are the Sixers going to handle this now?
League statement on the matter. We understand Joel was offended by the personal nature of the original version of the reporter's column. Interactions must remain professional on both sides and can never turn physical. Yo, how about the Inquirer they deleted that section from the article. I do not believe that was Marcus Hayes.
No.
That deleted that.
No way. They did.
Dude, they did not stand in their columnist corner at all.
It would not shock me if they fire him.
I have no fucking respect for the people that work higher up at the Inquirer, and I would have no problem telling that right to their face.
Well, you got to remember something.
I've met a lot of these media airheads in this city. Believe me, they're all fucking dumb.
That's right, Yale. That's the editor's job. You're right, Al. Yeah, that's the editor. But remember something, folks.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. If you put something out there, you got to stand on it.
That's right. The sports editor has to stand behind their people because they go into those environments. Totally true for them to tell him. I'll tell you, I'll be transparent. Marcus Hayes told me that the Inquirer couldn't have him come on our show because the bosses said no right now.
Look, this is the line of thinking I hate, though. Dan checks in and he says, why the fuck are you backing Marcus Hayes?
I'm not
an asshole. No, let me answer him. He's an asshole. That's the point, Dan. I don't have to agree with them. It's called freedom of the press, Dan.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because you don't agree with what somebody says is not a valid reason for them to have repercussions.
That's right.
Joel Embiid put it out there into the universe that he is trying to build his legacy for his son. He put it out there.
Nobody, at least me, I'm not defending anything he wrote. I don't care what he wrote. And he shouldn't care what he wrote.
Yeah, your take is more from the athlete where it doesn't matter what
I don't give a fuck what that guy says.
I agree.
But when you put your hands on someone, I told people this. Do you know how many people I want to kill for all the negative and all the lies that they've said about me and posted about me? If my wife told me last night, she goes, I'll tell you what, you'd be a serial killer for all the people that have written shit about you if you went after every one of them who called and did all these lies. I can't do that shit. And Embiid has to be bigger. He's a baby, and that was a child's response. Children act like that.
I agree.
100%. I am not backing the article. I don't care. You've got to fucking rise above that type of shit. You can't lower yourself. Hey, by the way, Are you under the impression these media guys like you? I mean, you're out of your mind. And by the way, the Inquirer, remember something, you have to paraphrase things correctly or they'll come after your ass. Remember, Zander,
Yeah, I remember.
the
Don't worry.
paraphrasing.
Anthony
So,
says you can't talk about the people's dead family members.
yes, you
Anthony,
can.
again, you're missing my point.
You're missing it. Yes, you
It's
can
not.
talk about that.
You absolutely can, number one. But also, number two, it's not about whether I agree with Marcus or not.
Right.
You can't get to a point where this is the response to somebody writing. And by the way, it would have been a real crossing of the line if he brought it up unprompted and Joel had never mentioned it. Joel mentioned this a year or two ago about his family and his legacy.
Why didn't the Sixers,
now he won't play a home opener, though, for the fans.
Why didn't the Sixers just restrict the press credential from Marcus Hayes and not allow him back in there? They do that shit all the time. There's other reporters and columnists that go into that locker room all the time. They knew animosity was between the dude. And then what do? They turn around and tell the other media members, and you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to pivot people against Marcus Hayes in the locker room going, we'll give you accessibility and not him. By the way, I think Marcus has now become even bigger, and now his voice has become even stronger because now, guess what? He's one of the very last few guys that Angelo said yesterday on this program. Angelo told me some more stuff off the air on what the Sixers are trying to do that I'm not at liberty to really say yet until I get a cool okay from Marcus. But you don't know what they're doing. They're going around. And this is why when, what's his name? Howard Exkin allegedly sexually abused a woman at a place, and the Phillies covered it up. The Odyssey folks covered it up. No one said anything about it, and that thing just went away. Can you imagine if I had done anything like that at a game? I would have been fired, and I have been fired for dumber shit than doing. I've never been involved in anything like that. And look at the Eagles. The Eagles have ESP in the room, and here's a guy who made lies up about Deshaun Jackson being a gang member, and he's still in there. Boy, the Philadelphia sports media are on the hook with these sports teams. Zander, they do not do their job. They do not do their job anymore. It is not the same market it was 15 years ago where those reporters and the people that covered that team, and I'm not saying John, because I've heard John be critical. So I'm not singling John out with that. And there are Selke, I like him. I think he does a nice job too. And to some aspect, McClain does a decent job too. And some of these other guys, listen to WIP or listen to 97.5. They don't cover anything like this. And by the way, I have not heard one thing about the Joel Embiid attack from both radio stations, and I've been monitoring it for the last 3 days.
Yeah, we know why. They've reached out and they've made it so that they can't talk about it. But, if it were me, if I were the executive at Philadelphia Inquirer, I would protect Marcus Hayes. I would not have told anybody to delete what he wrote, and I would countersue the team and Joel Embiid for putting his hands on Marcus Hayes. That's what I would do.
That's not how. Here's
I don't
how
know what you think of that, but that's what I would do.
Here's how the companies react to that. If you are a team and if you're a radio station, and I'll give it to you why the San Diego Padres had me removed from being. I was even a pre and post game show host for the Padres for 2 years. But when I got to the new station, you know why they removed me from mornings? Because I was being overcritical. And you know what the company said, Odyssey? This is a fact. They were going to move me to Boston. They said this, well, we'll side with you guys and we'll take him off the air because they were selling advertising spots, their advertising department. Ask your dad this, Zander. Those guys are going to side with that because there's more people in the building that are generating money for the company and sacrificing a guy who's on air. They'll sacrifice the guy on air or the columnist because you know why? You have marketing dollars. Those teams, they advertise.
Believe me,
they advertise with the Inquirer. They advertise with the Inquirer. And get this, you don't want to have the Sixers not advertising with the Inquirer, who spend maybe $200,000-$300,000 a year advertising, promoting games, and they're going to pull that and put it to another source. They're going to sacrifice Marcus Hayes for that. They're not going to sit around and back people like that anymore.
They shouldn't fire him. I'll be upset. I'll be very upset if they fire him.
I think there'll be too much pressure too. And by the way, hey, I'll tell you this. Thank God he's an African-American. Okay? Thank God. Because he's a white guy, he'd be fired. Just telling you.
You might not be wrong about that.
Okay?
Look at
Thank
Wendell.
God.
Wendell, are we talking football? Wendell, we just talked football for an hour. We do this for 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes.
At a 4-hour show. Okay? All right.
Gotta love JAKIB Nation, baby.
Okay, so you tell me. I'm going to give you my top 10 quarterbacks.
Wait, did we miss something? Weren't we even about to talk about
Oh,
something?
no, let's do the coordinator. Oh, no, we did the coordinators. We did the head coach. Oh, wait a minute. No, we did Hurts. We did them all.
Okay. All right.
We
Cool.
did them all.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
We
cool.
did them all.
Let's keep rolling. What do you got?
All
Top
right.
10 QBs?
Top 10 QBs.
All right. Well, after learning what we just learned about Lamar Jackson, I think it's safe to say he's number one. Are we going 2024 top?
Top 20.
I'm not looking at careers. I'm looking at 2024.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. At number 10, the Big Sills. Top 10 quarterbacks for 2024. At number 10, the man who is now in line to have a great season and one of the toughest players in the league, Justin Herbert at number 10. At number 9, this guy is now the leader of the number 1 team in the NFC West. His name is Kyler Murray. Number 8. What a season this guy's putting together. He's completely transformed this team since he's been added to it. The legendary Kirk Cousins at number 8. Number 7. Probably too low. My man. And he gets his boy back on Monday. Brock Purdy at number 7. At number 6, the man, the myth, the legend. The man from Motown. We just lost Quincy Jones, but now they have a new commander in charge. They have now a new orchestra leader. His name is Jared Goff at number 6. Number 5, the best quarterback in the NFC East. He is, without a doubt, having a spectacular season. Jaden. First place Commanders, Daniels at number 5. Number 4. This guy's having a great year. His football team is not. Joe Burrow, Bengals. Number 3. I think this is blasphemy, but I'm going to do it. Patrick. Undefeated 8-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes at 3. Number 2. The legend. The man who's, I don't know. Who's he throwing to? Josh Allen. Number 2. Number 1. I gave you the numbers. He's, without a doubt, having a spectacular season. Lamar Jackson, number 1. How you doing? So, Herbert, Kyler Murray, 9, Cousins at 8, Purdy at 7, Golf at 6, Daniels at 5, Burrow at 4, Mahomes at 3, Josh Allen, number 2, and Lamar Jackson, number 1.
That's a shit list.
Yeah, really. Okay. Let's see here. This guy's having an iconic season. This other guy is 6-2 by himself. Now, the guy in that Bills huddle could start in Philly. The other guy is 8-0, Mahomes. Joe Burrow's on pace for 44 touchdowns and 6 picks. Jaden Daniels is in first place. By the way, your Eagles are a wild card team as of today, and they would be going in as a wild card team. And you got Jaden Daniels at 7-2. You got Brock Purdy stabilizing a wounded ship that now has the torpedo fixed. Jared Goff is 7-1. And you got Cousins, who's transformed Atlanta. And Kyler Murray's in first place in the West, where you got the Rams, the Niners, and Seattle, and yet there's Cardinals. And you got Justin Herbert, who's sitting there in second place behind the Kansas City Chiefs at 6-3. How you doing? What's stupid about that? They're all having good years too.
Where do you have Purdy?
I got Purdy 7.
All right, that's a little high for me. He's got 7 picks to 10 touchdowns. I know he's got a lot of passing yards, but he's under a 65. I'm not going Purdy in my top 10 right now.
All right.
All right.
Let's see what you got.
I got my top 8. I'm trying to round out my
people. Wait a minute. People are going over to my X account and saying your list sucks. So
Good.
Everyone's going back and forth. This is phenomenal. Thank you, guys. Please, let's hear this list.
Go and rip Sills on X, everybody. At Dan Sileo
Show.
No,
rip me here.
Yeah, right. Rip us both places. You can rip me on X too, at Real Zander. All right, I got my top 8. I'm trying to get these last 2 done, and there's a big toss up, and I'll have the chat help me with those last 2. Ready?
Ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready
for a real quarterback list.
I'm ready.
Unlike that shit, whatever that was. Number 1, Lamar Jackson. I think the stats speak for themselves when it comes to Lamar Jackson right now. 2,099 passing yards already. No, he's got more than that. He had what was it? We pulled
50,
up the numbers.
63 or something like that.
Lamar Jackson playing unreal right now. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league. And until he is knocked off the throne, I refuse to drop him lower than I'd say 3.
Do you see Kelsey get 14 catches last night too?
Yeah, good. About time. I mean, about time he showed up in the 2024 football
his
season.
chick showed up.
I thought the dude was going to, just.
Well, his chick showed up. She was there last night, so he had to look good.
Yeah. Well, she's there every game, isn't she?
No, not every game. The games that, she had like a 3-game bye, and that's when he was not playing well.
It was pretty funny. I think she was in the same box as
Mahomes' mom.
Mahomes' mom. She's Miss Kamala. Mahomes' mom went Miss Trump last night. I'm like, they got some drama in the box.
Yeah.
Pretty funny stuff. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Jared Goff. The guy has thrown like 3 incompletions a game in the last 6 weeks. He's on an absolute tear, and they continue to destroy teams. Number 5, Joe Burrow. I do think you're right. Doesn't have a great team, but he is playing lights out football. Number 6, the greatness. The greatness of Jalen Hurts.
My God
baby,
almighty,
comes in, edging out. Number 7, Jaden Daniels. I need to see more from Jaden before I put him above my man.
Oh, you're going to. You're going to.
Okay, good. Let's see it. Who do I sound like? I'm a prove it guy.
Yeah.
I'm a prove it guy.
3,600 yards he's on pace for. Go ahead. He's elite.
Shit what he's on pace for.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the stats.
Yeah. First 8 games, that guy's played B football at best. Go ahead.
Number 7, Jaden Daniels. Number 8, CJ Stroud. And then 9 and 10, I have an open competition between a couple different guys. You can look at Jordan Love. You could look at Matthew Stafford. You could look at Sam Darnold. You could look at Baker Mayfield, by the way, who's really playing good football.
I thought he played good last night.
Even without his top 2 targets.
They should have went for 2 last night.
I know. I mean,
what a mistake that was. Very
you
conservative.
You could go Purdy. You could go Cousins. You could go Geno Smith. You could go Herbert or Murray. I mean, it's really a toss-up on those last two. So, chat, I'm going to have you help me. I got 9 and 10 left. Is it Stafford? Is it Baker? Is it Kyler? Is it Herbert? Is it Jordan Love?
It's Purdy.
Really?
It's Purdy. Purdy cannot be out of your top 10.
See, I think I'm with Harold and Sam. I might have a bias for Baker. I just like Baker Mayfield. I don't know why. I just think I just like the guy. I think he's a cool ass dude. I'd want to play for him.
Oh,
Baker. I like Baker. I'm maybe I have a little
you
bias.
like shit talkers. That's why I'm here.
I do. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. I come from a family of shit talkers, and I like a good shit talker.
Yeah.
I like a good shit talker.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's it.
Any list with Hurts in the top 10 is a dog shit list.
Oh my God.
all super chats will be read. I promise you, man.
Are you kidding me?
Any fucking list.
Number 6, baby.
6. That means he's a dude out from being a top 5 performer in the first half at quarterback. Dude, seriously, man, you're hitting a vape pipe too much. That's ridiculous, man. Or you're smoking those mountain oysters that you eat out of a jar every time I see it. Those ball nuts or whatever sunflower seeds. You're high on it, dude. Something wrong with you.
All right, let me round out my list. Is it Purdy? Everybody, a lot of people are saying Purdy. Stafford and Baker,
How is it not Murray?
Stafford and Herbert. Yeah, Murray's playing good. I might have a bias against Murray.
You do? Hey, by the way, I thought he was a child too. How about Jonathan Gannon? Jonathan Gannon's on my list of the top 10 coaches in the first half for Coach of the Year.
How did Kyler play this weekend?
They won.
Did he play good? Because he's the big Call of Duty guy. I think the new Call of Duty came out. Yeah, he had a 50. No, that wasn't this week. All right, he was okay. He had no touchdowns, no picks, 88 rating, 65% completion, and 154 passing yards. Yeah, dude was tired. He was ripping Call of Duty all night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did he win?
Oh, yeah. When I say that about Jalen Hurts, you say, he's on pace for 3,600 yards.
Well, you better have that with all that weaponry you have there. I mean, it's like the United States military fighting the Iraqi Republican Guard. Are you crazy, man? I mean, seriously, Jalen Hurts' offense is like the United States military going against the Baghdad Republican Guard. And I'm sitting here going like this. Hang on here for a minute. Okay? Who has the most weaponry? That's the Eagles, man.
All right, I'm going Baker at 9.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'm going Baker at 9. And I'll go Purdy at 10. Fuck Kyler Murray.
Any fucking list with that guy on it, man. He's top 6 is a dog shit list. Holy cow, man. You really think Jalen has been the 6th best quarterback in the first 8 games of the year? Oh my God.
And you frame it like that, I don't know.
Well, that's what this is.
No, I do. Ryan, your list sucks, Ryan. Fucking Ryan. Dude checks in like once a show with a shit comment. Ryan, maybe get some better comments, dude.
Hey, before we get to the super chats, here's my MVP list because I have a vote for NFL honors. Here's my top 10. I got Kirk Cousins, number 10. I got Kyler Murray, 9. I got Jaden Daniels, 8. I got Joe Burrow, 7. I got Saquon Barkley, 6. I got Jared Goff, 5. I've got Derrick Henry, 4. I got Mahomes, 3. I got Allen, 2. And I got Lamar, 1.
That's MVP?
MVP.
Yeah, I'm perfectly good with that list. I like yours.
I got to put Barkley and Henry in that top 10. I'm not going to make it just a quarterback.
Yeah.
Those two dudes have been. Hey, honestly, if you think,
I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think Barkley's in the MVP running at all.
I don't think Henry is either. I just think that it's a award for now quarterbacks. But if I had to choose, if you took the quarterbacks out of the conversation, who are the best players in the NFL this year? Don't you think it's been Barkley and Henry? Maybe the guy in Minnesota, he's having a pretty good year
you're
too.
right. You might be right.
Think about that.
I think
Don't
that's a
talk-
good exercise. If you took out the quarterbacks,
Yeah,
who are the best players in the NFL right now?
Barkley and Henry. I mean, what other wide receiver is having a spectacular year like that? The kid Jefferson, maybe the guy in Minnesota. I mean, but who would you put in there that you would go like this? Okay,
I mean,
don't mention the quarterback.
They're not going to be MVPs.
Don't mention they're not. They're not. It's a quarterback award. But the last guy to win it was Adrian Peterson years and years ago. And you're not going to see anybody unless
I love Adrian Peterson.
If Derrick Henry goes over 2105, he might.
Wait, I had two non-Eagles jerseys when I was a kid. Actually, I had 3, but I'm not going to tell them. I'm not going to say the third one. I'll say the 2. Keep everybody wondering. All right. You want to guess the two of them? They're both running backs, I'll tell you that.
Adrian Peterson.
Yep, purple Adrian Peterson Vikings.
And a guy like Zander, who would he have? And so I have to think around that time. I'm going to say, I don't believe you would have an Emmitt Smith being an Eagle fan.
Not an Emmitt Smith.
Terrell Davis.
No, I had LaDainian Tomlinson.
Ooh.
In the bright blue.
Oh my God, I love that. Dude, I love that.
I still have that thing in my closet.
Dude, I love that jersey. I've always told the Chargers, man. I love that 1960s
Yep.
Chargers. I told you how the Charger name was founded, right?
Dude, LaDainian Tomlinson was an absolute baller.
Hey, I told you how the Charger name was founded, did I?
Did
I ever tell you?
Didn't tell me that.
Okay, get this. So Baron Hilton, you know the girl Hilton, her grandfather owned the team initially when he bought the team. And guess what he did? He was the first guy with the charge card for his hotels around the country, the Hilton hotels. So he named his team the Chargers off the charge card. Baron Hilton owned the Chargers at first.
Wow, that's cool.
And so he named them after his charge card. It was the Hilton charge card, so they called them the Chargers.
Wow, that's interesting right there.
Yeah,
that's a little tidbit.
Yeah, that's how they got the name.
Daniel Tomlinson was a legend, and I loved him. And
I can't think of another TCU guy. How he tried to make a guy.
He was so early. I honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. I didn't even know what college he was.
Yeah, he went to TCU.
I was born in '98, and that's when I think he got in the league around that time. No, he got in the league in 2001. Yeah, I mean, his best season was 2006 and 2007. And honestly, I think I was literally might have been an 8, 9, 10-year-old kid wearing my LT shirt to recess at school or whatever you want to call it. My bright blue.
I'll do one more with you. I wasn't gonna, but I'll do one more with you. Then we'll do the super chats here. Right, here's my top 10 NFL teams. Ready?
I was born ready.
Number 10. I got the Houston Texans here at number 10.
Okay.
Number 9. I've got the Atlanta Falcons at number 9. It was between them and the Packers, but I had them at 9.
Wait, who'd you have 9?
The Falcons.
Okay. That's a little high for me on them. I'm not going to lie.
Number 8, I got the Vikings.
Okay, I like that.
At number 7, I've got the Philadelphia Eagles. And mind you, they weren't on my top 10 last week. Number 6, I got the Steelers. Number 5, the Washington Marcus Latimer Commanders.
Dude, fuck the Commanders.
Number 4, I've got the Baltimore Ravens. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we're going to have the same top 4.
Number 2, the Lions. And number 1, till you knock the champs off, I got the Chiefs. So I got 10 Texans, 9 Falcons, 8 Vikings, 7 Eagles, 6 Steelers, 5 Commandos, 4 Ravens, 3 Bills, 2 Lions, 1 Chiefs.
I'm going 1 Chiefs, 2 Lions, 3 Bills, 4 Ravens. So we have the same top 4. Then I'm going Eagles. No, I'm going Eagles 5. I'm going Vikings 6. I'm going Commanders 7, Texans 8, Steelers 9, and Packers 10.
So you have the Eagles at the 5th best team in the league, and you got the quarterback, the 6th best quarterback in the league, having beaten one team with a winning record all year. Hey, this is...
Yo, Sills.
Yo, help me.
Your takes don't scare me, bro.
Wait a minute. Your logic is buffoonery.
Okay, I'll talk to you at the end of January.
Hey, no, I'll talk to you at the end of a Commando game.
All right.
We're
gonna beat them 2 times in a row.
Let's get these super chats.
We will beat the Commanders twice this year.
Oh, so
maybe 3 times if they want to try us in the
You're going
playoffs.
to sweep the NFC East.
Who'd Washington beat? Thank you, Sam. Who'd Washington beat this year? You keep telling me the Eagles beat Stiffs. Who the hell is Washington beat?
No one. Right. Who you beat?
No one. That's the point.
Okay. Well, then I'll go with the team with the better record. How you doing? And the better quarterback. And the better head coach.
They don't have a better record. They played 1 more game than us.
That's a better record. and their coach is a better head coach.
Can't win with Sills. It's unbelievable.
Who's a better head coach? One guy's got a better resume than the other guy.
Oh, Dan Quinn?
Sorry,
I'm not a Dan Quinn truther.
Really? So Dan Quinn has taken a team to a Super Bowl himself, like your Stiff did. And also, he's got a Super Bowl ring as a coordinator, who your coordinator on defense doesn't own one. Oh, I got one.
Give me the birds. Give me the birds.
Let me tell you this, man. That's how you could always go back to it.
Give me the birds. Trying to tell me
way,
Dan Quinn's this and that.
Quick,
Fuck Dan Quinn.
Real quick before we get to the super chats here. Hey, I know many of you reached out to me and asked me about the Big Sales merch, but well, hey, he's too busy sponsoring like Philly 500 and them guys. We'll get to it, and then, by the way, on the post game show, remember Big Sills has to filibuster to get his ass on it.
You guys see how petty this man is?
I'm not petty. Well, maybe a little.
Yeah, you're majorly fucking petty, is what you are.
You're petty. I'll tell you what, with a guy with a list where a quarterback is 6th and he's a stiff, and you got the Eagles 5th.
Look, Sileo tried to bully me into agreeing with him that our team sucks. Meanwhile, we're a top team in the league. We're playing unreal football right now. Nobody can beat us. Jalen Hurts is back to MVP elite form. We look like 22 again. Nick Sirianni's got everybody calling for his job. I mean, things are right in the city of brotherly love. Sills?
Yeah, your head coach is a stiff.
Oh, Joe, thank you for reminding me. Dan Quinn's the 28-3 guy. Fucking stiff.
Yeah. He has a Super Bowl ring, and he's taken a team to a Super Bowl. And what Nick did was cry about the field. 1 drop away. There you go, LJ. Back to being the dick you are.
We didn't lose that game because of Nick Sirianni. I mean, if we're being real, we maybe lost it because of Jalen with that fumble. You can't have a 10-point swing to the freaking Kansas City Chiefs in one play. You just can't.
And well, you had one guy who was house hunting.
No, I wouldn't say he was house hunting in that game. Nobody got home in that game. Oh,
Jonathan Gannon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
no.
Reddick, and he was just going for sacks.
Jonathan Gannon was house hunting for the Arizona job.
Yeah, you're right. He was.
He was house hunting. I blame his ass for that.
Stiff.
Fucking.
Remember what he did after the NFC title game or in that time frame? He's like, I'm not leaving Philly. And then he's like in his G-Wagon driving through the city. We're going to gut these guys. He's trying to get on everybody's good side. And then he just rolled out.
His G-Wagon. Let's get to the super chats there, kid, with that fucking god-awful list of yours. Go ahead, man.
That was the best list. Everybody, you won't find a better quarterback team list anywhere in the football media world.
Oh, my God, please.
Zander has a Tony Romo jersey. No, I do not. YB. Love you, YB. Thank you for the support today, man. It's really hard to read your currency, but I'm just going with the supers. Thank you, bro. How were Eagles not in your top 10 last week and moved up a few spots after you shit on them the last few days?
Because I took the entire body of work for 8 games and I put it together for the first half instead of the last 3 cherry-picked weeks that Zander loves to go in and cherry-pick. That
Trends, everybody.
Since the bye week.
Trends. Big Sills loves to tell you about trends.
Try beat the Falcons
until they work against his takes, and then he tells you trends don't matter.
Win versus a team with a winning record.
Dakota Prescott checks in. Zander, you forgot me. How dare you? You're not playing top 10 right now, Mr. Prescott. Jarrell Ray. What's up, Jarrell? I don't know what is worse, Big Sills or Dan Orlovsky. This shit is despicable.
Come on, Jarrell. I'm a man of truth, justice, and the Big Sills way. That's what we do here. You know that guy has not played a football in the first 8 weeks. Come on, man. Beat a team that's good.
Look at this guy. Sills is an asshole, but he's our asshole.
That's a shirt.
That's a shirt. Oh, good. Another one. Rashid Mixon. Was L. Jack considered elite last year? Can you check the stats for me? Thanks. Let's look. I'll check the stats for you. You dropped us $5. I'll look at his stats for you.
And 14-3 and home field advantage. And get this. Hey, Rashid, he had wide receivers with no 1,000 yards, no 1,000-yard back, and they went 14-3. The tight end was lost in week 10.
I see what he's saying, though. They were 13-3. Well, he played 16 games. So did he sit out the last game or did he get injured?
He got sat out the last game.
So he had 3678 passing yards last year, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a 67.2 completion percentage. And then he had rushing. He had 821 yards and 5 touchdowns on 148 attempts.
And 14-3 in home field advantage in the AFC. He won home field.
But to Rashid's point, he had a Jalen Hurts season last year.
What were his turnovers?
He had 7 picks, which is pretty good. That's Jalen. Well, he had 7 picks in 22, Jalen. I think he had less than that, actually. 7 picks. And did he have any fumbles? Let me look. Give me a second.
Probably did because he carries the ball so much. We'll get to you, Philly.
He's pretty sturdy with the ball. I got to give him. He had 11 fumbles.
But Zander, he had no one to play with. There wasn't a 1,000-yard receiver on the team and a 1,000-yard rusher. It was all him. There was no Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown on that team. There's nothing.
So he had 11 fumbles. I don't know how many he lost of them, but Rashid, great super chat.
Rashid, 14-3 home field advantage. He was the only dude on that Ravens team a year ago.
Look who just checked in. Philly 500.
What up?
You just caught some stray bullets.
Hey,
from Big
Philly,
Sills.
this guy loves your shit, man. He's getting your merchandise, buying it all up, wearing. He wore it the other day.
Yo, Philly, I got a question for you, Philly. Where's Jalen Hurts right now in your top quarterback list in the NFL? Where is he, Philly? Let me know in the chat. If it takes you a second, that's all right.
He's not in mine. Anybody who puts that guy in top 10
you had him in yours. You didn't have him in your top 10.
Is a stiff. Top 10 quarterbacks, he's not in that list. What are you, crazy? I wouldn't put a guy like that.
Yes, Philly 500. He does need a Philly 500 shirt. I wore mine on the show on Friday, Philly. It looked dope. It looked so dope that Sileo has been crying about it for 3 weeks.
Not crying.
3 days.
Not crying. Just
Philly says he thinks he's top 10.
Shit.
I agree.
You think the first 8 weeks of the NFL season, he's played top 10 quarterback? Good night, almighty. Who in their right mind would think that anybody?
We got a lot of super chats today we got to get through. I didn't realize.
Please, let's get to them. I'm about to throw up.
Philly drop them. What's up, guys? Mark Holmes finally lost it. Total breakdown. He needs to be slapped. Needs to act like a man.
Come on.
Yeah, Mark Holmes was texting me some fuddy-duddy stuff. I think he's flaking on the show tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I think so. But hey, I think they have an obligation tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
But
no, I'm not picking on him. I think he wanted me to tell you to move it to Thursday, and I said that's going to have to be something that you bring up with Sills because I don't program Sills' show for him.
maybe we will do that. Maybe hey, Philly, if you're okay with that, maybe we will. What do you think, Xander? Move it to
Whatever you
Thursday.
want. I mean, yeah, like I said, your show, and it's
Yeah,
up to those
because
guys too.
I got Tony Casillas coming on talking Cowboys tomorrow. He does a show for the
Oh, good, the
Cowboys.
shitty Cowboys. You ask him where their
You
power
are
ranked.
playing them this week, dude.
Ask him where their power ranked. 28th. They
Look at this
suck.
guy. I'm going to put a Cowboy guy on because you're playing the Cowboys. Gee,
I'm not chirping your guest. I'm chirping the shitty Cowboys.
go
God,
ahead.
you're emotional today.
Yeah,
Taking
no,
everything personal.
excuse me. Who do you think I? Okay, my aunt's watching. I can't say one person. Go, please. Let's get through the super chats before I
Dude,
throw
we got
up.
so many. We might be here till 6.
Come on, dog.
Holy shnikes. Anthony Wilson, you lose credibility when you keep refusing to put Hurts in your top 10, Sills, because he's a dual threat. He's playing better than Herbert and Purdy. Agreed, Anthony.
Holy shit, man. You do not get it. He has not played top 10 football in the last fucking 8 weeks. End of story. You cherry peck versus stiff teams. Holy
Dak
crime.
Prescott, where am I? You're at like 20, my dude. You got to step it up. Always Sunny says, Reuben Frank, another good Philly media guy. You like who you like.
I
Cue
like
Ball
him.
says, Embiid suspended 3 games. We saw that one.
Good.
Polska Trucker. Zander needs to be put in a straitjacket for that comment about Jalen Hurts. Oh, Polska, did I hurt your feelings, Polska? Come on, Polska.
Oh, man.
Polska, I give you the truth. Truth, justice, and the big Z way. YB becomes a member. Thank you, YB. Appreciate that. Ricky becomes a member. Look at that. Appreciate both you guys becoming a member. That means a lot. Big support for the channel, so thank you both. Des the Hebrew. Wishbone means you have to add the rushing. Yes, you do, Des.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll win at Super Bowl because of it, too.
YB checks in with 500 Egyptian pounds is how I'm reading that. I don't know if I'm right, but that's what I'm looking at. Biggest issue I have with Jags game is the pass rush. Jags played the equivalent of 2 p.m. strippers at O-line and no pressure all night. Also, Elliott never kicking field goals is cooling him off, might come back to haunt us. Sills is on point with his takes, but we'll be fine. It's a good super.
Absolutely. It's a spectacular super because somebody with some common sense has finally spoken. Who have been the last 4 games that we've played? Who have been the last 4? The Browns? Oh, yeah. No, I forgot that shitty record. Hold on for a second here. I forgot the shitty Browns. So get this. Here's what Zander's saying. So since the bye week, the Philadelphia Eagle opponent record is 10-26. And this guy's trying to tell me that Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback versus teams that have a combined record of 10 wins and 26 losses. How you doing?
We keep winning and Sills keeps crying, baby.
10-26.
All is right in the world when we keep winning and Sills keeps crying, baby.
No, I'm just going to have to remind everyone.
What did Playmaker say again, Devontae? What did Playmaker say?
10-1. All I heard last year was that bullshit. And you know what I heard at the end? Oh, my God. Sileo is white.
Let's keep rolling.
Please.
Sad. Most divisive era for U.S. politics since the Civil War. What's going on in the election? I've been on here for like 2 hours. I don't know what's going on with it. We're not going to go down that road, though, right
now. Not interested.
I hear you, though, Jalen. YB says, appreciate you, YB, by the way. You got a couple super chats in here. You became a member today. Thank you, man. Are you new to the channel? I'd be curious to hear if you're new to the channel. We appreciate you being here. People say Nick is going to cost us in the chip game versus the Lions. I'd argue that Lions are too good. We have no chance unless Nick takes all these crazy gambles, a la Dougie P in the Super Bowl. Gambles will have to pay off. This guy's smart. He's a good take.
Keep defending that stiff head coach of yours. I wouldn't let that guy coach a lingerie league team. I wouldn't let that guy coach chicks in thongs running around with footballs in their hand.
Look at Philly 500. Wait, Philly, right before I came on here, I got the notification on YouTube that he tagged us. I didn't watch it yet because I was on the show. He says Mark made a video ripping all of us, crying he isn't being paid. LMAO. He lost it. Sills, tell me all the QBs better.
Hold on, Philly. Angelo Cataldi comes on this program, and you, with your kindness, never ask for money. Who's this guy think he is? Paul Dumowitz? I mean, holy shit.
Holy dude, this has been a roast fest. This
Hey,
segment today has
why
been a
would
roast
I put
fest.
a guy on with a football team that fucking blows? Okay, here's the quarterbacks better than Jalen Hurts in the first 8 games. Murray's in first place.
Wrong.
You're a wild card team right now. In the
Murray
first,
better than Hurts? If you started the franchise today, you take Kyler Murray over Jalen Hurts?
I didn't say that. I said
Okay,
who's
good.
playing better ball in the first 8 games of the year of 24. One guy's in first place. The other guy's a wild card team. Justin Herbert is in one of the top divisions because the Chiefs are in it.
A perpetual underperformer.
Jim Harbaugh.
A perpetual underperformer.
Cousins, who beat your ass this year, I have it number 8. Golf is 7-1. Best record in the NFC. He's 7th. Brock Purdy, defending NFC champions. And the last time you guys lined up against that Niner team, you was a bitch. The best quarterback in the NFC East, who's leading the East, Jaden Daniels. Joe Burrow right now is having 8 weeks. First 2024, there's not a guy in the building that doesn't think that guy is having a great year this year. Number 3, I don't know, Patrick Mahomes, 8-0, and he's going for a three-peat. Josh Allen, not a guy in Buffalo, Philly, that could start in that offense in the Philadelphia Eagle offensive huddle. Not one. From the O-line to the tight end to the receivers to the running back, except one guy, the quarterback.
All right.
And
Enough.
Lamar, who's on an iconic pace right now for one of the greatest years of all time. How you doing?
Billy, I got Jalen Hurts at 6 right
Good
now.
night. Holy cow, does that give me odds?
Actually, let me read my list of Philly. Let's see what he thinks of it. Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, Goff, Burrow, Hurts, Daniels, Stroud, Baker, and Purdy.
Hey,
That's my
Philly,
top 10.
do me a favor when you talk to that dude, Mark Holmes, because I see that he's going down a low angle here. So know this. I understand he's got to lash out, because I'd lash out too if I didn't have anything to talk about anymore, because my team stinks so bad and my quarterback's name is Cooper Rush. I mean, hey, I understand it. If he wants to continue to throw shots at me, I'll say this. Okay, it's all good. My quarterback's not named Cooper Rush. And also Ricky Ricardo in my backfield. This guy's got Ricky Ricardo, and he's got Cooper Rush as his quarterback lining up against the Eagles. The Eagles might put a 40 burger on him.
Yeah, we'll see. Polska Trucker, he's upset with me. He says, Zander, my feelings are not hurt. Just don't Johnny Mac me with these takes. I can see those green-colored glasses on. Oh, you must agree that game situations don't matter at all and just be aggressive for the sake of being aggressive. Who cares what the score is? Who cares who the opponent is? Who cares anything about the game? Just be aggressive.
Hey, Polish Trucker, don't worry about it, man. It's all good. Okay? By the way, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Polish Trucker.
Polska, my dad is
Polska, okay.
I think he's got some Polish in him, my dad, which would mean I have some Polish in me. But
great.
we got a great friend
I thought it said Polish.
who loves Jacob. I'm assuming he's Polish with his name, right?
Great. I mean, hey, we're all in the same
No,
region.
I'm telling him a story, dude. God, you're so wound tight today.
Oh my God. It's the election.
We get Shev's is a famous Polish kielbasa place in Kibasi place right around in the city.
Love
And we
Kabas.
get that stuff like every week by the truckloads. My dad loves that stuff, dude. And the guy loves JAKIB so much. He's such a great supporter of ours. Like, he really is. I give him a shout out, John at Chevs. Everybody should check them out.
Hey, I'd love that.
Yeah, it's like CVE or CZEW or something.
Oh
It's
man,
incredible
I
stuff. And
love Kabasa.
he takes really good care of JAKIB. I'll
Yeah.
just say that. He's a really good
I
dude,
love
man.
that. I
Shout
love
out
that.
to them.
Come on, let's get to the super chats. I want to throw up here with that list of yours.
Oh my God, dude. I hate to say it, but we have a lot. All right,
Well, I
here we
don't
go.
hate to say that. I like that. Thank you.
No, I mean, we're far from finishing. If you're gonna cry, if you're gonna keep
Oh
crying, Wolf.
shit, moaning. I'm not crying.
When we all right, let me start with this one, and we'll go the other way. When we beat them, what you're gonna say is just a regular season. What have you won? It is what it is, Sills. You're right, Prince. That's Sills for you. Lattimore overrated, is always hurt and unavailable. I don't think he's overrated at all. I think he's a good player.
He's a great player.
Always Sunny says the Eagles could stop a meteor that saves the world, and Big Sills will still give him a B minus.
That's funny, man. That is really funny right there.
That is 100% true.
Hey,
We can officially say Jordan Davis is a bust with the snap count.
how about this, Polsky? How about we wait to the end of the year to call him that? He's had a bust first half.
Bust first half. Agreed.
Okay, I want to give it to him. All right.
Is Mailata a factor in the tush push? Big guy. I mean, I would think
on the edge. I don't think so.
They don't really run it on the edge at all.
No.
Unstoppable force versus immovable object. Sileo versus John.
John who?
Don't disrespect McMullen like that. Come on.
Oh yeah, him. Okay.
We already read that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. We might have gone through them all.
Good.
Let's see.
Jesus criminy, man. This is
Zander, you forgot me. I got that one. I got Philly 500.
Yep.
4 weeks of quarter or season and trending.
That's right. Pick those last 4 games out with a combined record of 10-26. And look at you guys crowing around, walking around like you're a peacock. Give me a break here, man. Look at Zander rolling around the last 4 games like a peacock.
Brian checks in. All my homies hate Joel Embiid. This clown is so selfish. He moved up to number 1 on my shit list, right in front of J-Max Hero, Sirianni, and Banana Pudding. Wow.
Joel Embiid.
Yo, Brian,
Joel Embiid.
We need to start up a JAKIB comedy channel and feature Brian.
God.
This dude is
Joel
hilarious.
Embiid.
Stampy checks in. Cards are greater than the Sheagles. Sheagles Kyler greater than Butthurts.
I like
Champy,
Butthurts.
that's the super chat you wanted me to get to, dude. That's a shitty super chat.
That's a great super chat. Way to go, Champy.
Jarrell says Jalen currently at a B for grade purposes, but the disrespect with Kyler Murray is despicable. No worries, birds will show all you nerds what we stand on.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he's higher than a B, Jarrell.
Who?
Jalen, I gave him a B plus.
Yeah, of course you do.
Devontae,
those first 4 games were wonderful.
What did Playmaker say again?
Who?
Yeah, right. Michael Irvin. Sileo sounds like Mark Holmes with all these excuses.
Mark Holmes is now, he's like that one dude that used to show up on this channel. I forgot his name. Go ahead.
Hell, say it.
No, I don't go down that route no more.
Was he a host or was he a guest?
No, he was a guest. He used to come on. We used to kind of like him. He was boys with Philly 500, and I don't remember his name any longer.
Oh, I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, well, he has a channel that he takes shots at me and calls me a racist and all this and that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, welcome to the world of people disagreeing with you and then crying wolf. I already read this one, but it is hilarious. I cannot wait to go and watch Mark Holmes' video ripping JAKIB. Mark, we love you, Mark. Jarrell Ray says,
"Hey, Mark, kiss my ass."
Sills and Dan Orlovsky must have an agenda to try and turn folks against the birds. Funny thing is, they both continue to be wrong. Shit is hysterical.
I was never wrong last year, Jarrell. I was right in the end where you had your Chernobyl meltdown. You kept telling me a 10-1. Even Seth called me names. And I said, that team is not who it was. And then one day there was an epiphany on the old, which is now the much improved post-game show. And now I told you last year that team's not who you think it is. And sure enough, you guys took a gigantic shayuster all over yourselves, and you ended up being who you were. And we were right. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, okay. You keep
Right?
telling yourself that. I'll
I
post.
was,
I already
I
read
was
that. I
wrong.
appreciate it.
Wait, I was wrong? That team had turned out to be who I thought it was?
Yo, Sills, Mark called you out in his last video. LOL.
Watch this. Box of rocks.
I commented that to somebody today. I think his name is Man in Black. Remember when I chirped him on the show?
Yeah.
So he was commenting on your show. I don't know if he's in here. Man in Black, if you're in here, show yourself.
I know.
He commented on your show yesterday, and he said, Sileo's show will be gone by the end of the year. I'm like,
I know.
you must be new here. 4.5 years going strong
Hey,
and getting bigger and better than ever.
Hey, how about this one? Hey, Sileo, I've been watching you, man, for the last 34 years, and you blow. Yeah, I know. Hey, I know. Hey, I have sucked for 30 plus years in broadcasting.
Sills is
right.
going nowhere. YB says, Kamala about to be a DEI hire for the Dallas cheerleaders.
Oh, no politics, please. I got enough to deal with later. I can't have. Oh my God.
All right, everybody. That was hilarious, man.
Holy
JAKIB
shit.
Nation, are they, dude? You know what I'm learning about JAKIB Nation? Not only are they tremendous supporters of the channel and tremendous, I think they're actually very smart football fans, most of them.
They are.
They're also hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. Can I tell you this, though, what guys, why it's great? Unlike what the Inquirer's doing right now to Marcus Hayes, you guys get to chirp back at us. We chirp back at you. There's no hard feelings. It's sports. We keep it cool, and nobody censors you. This is the last place where you don't get censored, really.
I like that people disagree, and they cannot, like, it's not just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean you got to hate them or
no. I don't hate
I
anybody.
like being disagreed with.
Me too.
Challenge me, make me think better about something. I love that.
Well, it's easy when you put that Hurts kid at 6 and your Eagles at 5 over 4 weeks with a winning record of 10-26 with those shitty teams you play. Not that much of a reach, kid. Holy cow.
They can't stop JAKIB. Let's go, flex.
Let me go, man. I'm going to throw up, really.
Now I'm going to be working all night because Sileo kept me on for 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I did. Well, actually, what's happened with Zander here, I didn't really think he was going to be good when we first put him on. Now,
our segment's been good, man. People love our segment, I will say.
Actually, it's been an upgrade from Tone. And by the way, I like the Tone segment. It's not a rip on him at all. As a matter of fact, Zander and I both love Tone. It's what it is. It's the industry.
I got a lot of love for Tone, man. Tone did a lot for JAKIB. I'll never forget that.
No way, man. Hey, we have great respect for him. But Zander's segment has turned into be one of my favorite segments of the day.
Yeah, people like it, man. We get a lot of people that comment after.
A lot of views.
Not all Eagle fans either. Like, people are like, there's a lot of people, Ravens fans. We got a lot of Cowboy fans. We got a lot of other fans who check in and listen to the segment. So it's great, man.
Yeah, sometimes I have to un-McMullinize you because you talk to that dude in the morning and I don't know, man. I mean, that guy will still try to tell you they're not running the ball more. Okay.
You're not wrong.
Hey, it's a mirage I'm seeing. Anyway, this what makes this great. By the way, I can't wait for this weekend because it's Cowboys week. John and I in the post-game show. That should be quite the thing. And it's Cowboy week here. So we'll do more on that.
Is it in Dallas?
Yes, it's in Arlington.
John's going to be on for the full thing. So, boy.
Oh, God, that's good. He'll probably get up. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do, but let's go here. Hey, Zander, great stuff, dude. Cowboys should sign Harris's running back. She's crazy. Stop doing the politics.
Nothing like JAKIB in the chat is 100% true. We got the best chat on YouTube. Believe me, I watch every channel. There's no chat like ours. Look at this douchebag. Xander had to actually work for a couple hours. Poor titty baby. Philly, you don't know me from a can of Philly. I work all damn day.
I agree with you, Philly. I mean, just a couple minutes extra this guy had. Really? You sound like someone I know.
No, Philly 4 for 4. I've never seen somebody change their takes with every. It's like 8 minutes go by and the guy's got a completely different take than he had the day before.
Who?
Philly 4 for 4. One day he's like, I love Sileo. He's the greatest show ever. The next day he's like, Sileo's the biggest asshole in the world. He might be C24. He might be enough. Wait.
Philly 4 for 4. You sound like my old lady.
Did you know that C24 joined the JAKIB postgame show?
No.
Yes.
Wow.
And I gained respect for C24 because he came. Now, he wouldn't show his face, which was a little annoying. But he came into the Thunderdome and he spoke. I think C24 is a fine guy. He just got a little, he's got a little maturity to do. You can tell he's a young guy. You've had enough Diddy moments today, Sills. Agreed, Flex. Seriously, bro.
Get me out of here. I want to go home. Hey.
All right, goodbye.
All right. Hey,
goodbye, everybody. JAKIB Nation, I love you all. You guys are the absolute best,
Thank you for all the super chats and all the likes, man. You guys have been absolutely fantastic. Xander, a lot of fun, dude. I mean,
see you, dude.
I
great,
love
man.
I'll talk to you. I'll see you tomorrow, dude.
All right. See you, bro.
That's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that segment. I do. I absolutely enjoyed that segment. Please hit the like button. Keep it here, National Football Show.
If you missed any of today's show on the JAKIB Media channel, listen to the podcast on your way home. Available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify.